Algebra 2, lesson 109, more on fractional exponents. So we got to distinguish between a couple things on this lesson. So in the past, we've done some exponential expansion. So out of focus today, what's going on? Like these, where we had a single polynomial term, or sorry, not a polynomial, we had a single monomial term with an exponent on the outside. So if you have a monomial with an exponent, you just distribute the exponent. 3 to the z, 3 to the 1/4, 3 to the 1/2, 3 to the 2. 2 cubed becomes 8. X to the 1/2 cubed becomes x to the 3/2. To the 1/4 becomes 3/4, and z becomes z cubed, right? So that's the power rule. This only works with monomials. Now, what if we have to expand a polynomial like this? Can I just use the power rule and apply the 2 to the m to the 1/2 and the a to the 1/2? No, I cannot. So what I must do here is I must expand or multiply, which is another word for expanding. So we'll go ahead and work through that. We'll do an easier example and then we'll work on that one. So let's say I've got, let's say x cubed plus y to the power of 1/4, and that in parentheses is being squared. So what I actually have to do is I have to take this and I have to write it out twice and FOIL it, because it is a polynomial. That plus sign means I've got two different terms that are being added together. So I write it out like this. X cubed plus y, that's an ugly 3. X cubed plus y to the 1/4. X cubed plus y to the 1/4. And then I'm going to start applying FOIL. So first times the first, x cubed times x cubed gives me x to the power of 6. Last times the last, 1/4 times 1/4 gives me y to the power of 1/2. And then I do inside times the inside. So plus x cubed y 1/4. And then outside times outside, plus x cubed y to the 1/4. Then I combine these like terms, and I get x to the power of 6 plus 2x cubed y to the power of 1/4. Again, this becomes a 2 because I've got 1 plus 1. These are both the same term. So 1 plus 1 gives me 2x cubed y to the 1/4. And then lastly, I forgot to put a plus sign there, plus y to the power of 1/2. If you're confused as to why I put 1/2 there, 1/4 plus 1/4, 1/2. All right, and this would be our answer. So this is a little more complex than using the power rule and just distributing the exponent across the monomial term. But again, this is a binomial, so I have to expand it. Wow, we're only 3 minutes in, and that's all there was for this lesson. I'll do one more example. Okay, so let's say we've got, oh, this is a good one. Let's say we've got z to the power of 1/3 plus p to the power of negative 1/2. And that is being squared. So again, I've got to expand this by writing it out twice. So 1 parenthesis, 2 parenthesis, z 1/3 plus p negative 1/2. z 1/3 plus p negative 1/2. So I've expanded, or I've written it out in expanded form, and now I'm going to FOIL it. We'll do that in red this time. So first times the first, z to the 1/3 times z to the 1/3. That's going to give me z to the 2/3. Excuse me. Last times the last. P to the negative 1/2 plus p to the negative 1/2 is going to give me plus p to the power of negative 1. Okay, then the middle terms, inside times the inside. P to the negative 1/2 z to the 1/3 is just going to be that, p to the negative 1/2 z to the 1/3. And then we'll add first, or outside times the outside, and that's just going to be another p negative 1/2 and z to the 1/3. Again, we have like terms in the middle. We combine those. Final answer is going to be z to the 2/3 plus 2 p to the negative 1/2. Oops, forgot the 1. z to the 1/3 plus p to the power of -1. And that is our final answer. So pretty simple lesson. Just write it out, FOIL it, make sure you add your exponents correctly. If you have any questions, let me know on Moodle, and I will see you in class.